Happiness through curiosity on the Ranveer Show. Welcome to TRS Clips.
Is the Modi government doing that to the existing system of bureaucracy?
No.
They're not changing that?
No. I mean, there may be some small changes happening, maybe some deeper changes happening, but they're very gradual changes.
Okay.
It's not happening very fast. The overall system is still the same as it was in 1947, essentially, the IAS system, Indian Administrative Services. So the nations that are the most agile and make decisions and implement the decisions the fastest are the ones that are going to rule the world. And that typically happens in dictatorships.
Like China?
Like China. Because once the emperor gives his order, everyone is going to implement that, which is Mr. Xi Jinping currently, right? So the nations that are the most agile and the most efficient in changing and deciding things are the ones that are going to win the race. So currently, China is far ahead of everybody else in that sense because they are a complete dictatorship, a one-party rule. It's an imperial system. Mr. Xi Jinping is essentially the emperor. So China has a huge advantage there. Russia also is kind of an autocratic state. They have elections and all, but we know what it is. Mr. Putin is essentially the Tsar of Russia. So even in Russia, they have these rapid decision-making systems. So Russia also does well. When it comes to chaotic democracies like India, it's a problem. It's a problem. That may actually do more harm than good in the kind of scenario, geopolitical scenario that we are in right now. Yeah. And there are obviously frameworks that help you deal with this in case there is a war or something, then the nation can impose an emergency kind of situation and then you can take decisions very rapidly. So there's always that, but you need to justify if you're going to impose an emergency. You cannot do what happened in 1975, for instance, right? So that's the way it is. The US is a two-party state and it's way more autocratic than people believe it is. And that's why the US also is able to make decisions rapidly.
You're talking about the deep state.
The deep state, the entire framework is such that it's a very highly militarized nation. Even the police is highly militarized. They have got automatic rifles and stuff like that. So the decision-making framework is very rapid. It's the legacy of the settler colonialism, right? The gun culture and all that. So they have a very systematic framework by which decisions are made very rapidly. They have a president. The system of government is stable. It's not like in India where or the parliamentary system, the Westminster parliamentary system that you have in India, in Israel, in the UK, where governments can fall anytime. The prime minister can be ousted and somebody else comes in place. It's a very unstable system. And in the UK, it's designed to be that way because somebody else actually rules the country, right? There's some extra democratic power centers in the UK that most people are not able to see. Maybe even I'm not able to see. Yeah, in India, that's not a thing as far as we know. That's why the system of government is kind of unstable. I would say that a presidential system would be more beneficial for India than the kind of system that we adopted from the small island called the UK, right? So yeah, India does face challenges because it's a vibrant democracy, because there's so much chaos at times in the system.
What do you mean by that? Chaos?
Chaos, what do I mean by chaos? You have the parliament. You have all these MPs. Anything that you want to implement, let's say you want to implement, you want to make a new law. You have to go through all the debates. You have to go through all the pandemonium. The parliament sessions may be disrupted. You may have these walkouts, and you may have to adjourn parliament and so on. And if you create a law without doing the proper debates and all, then people will say you're being dictatorial, right? And then sometimes, right now it's not the case, but imagine you have a coalition government where you've got three partners. And then the prime minister takes a decision that the other partners don't like. They may pull the rug from under the prime minister's feet, and then you don't have a government. So such a system is inherently weak and it's unstable. You're not guaranteed to have the same prime minister for the next 5 years. In the US, once a president is elected, he or she is going to be president for the next 4 years unless he or she dies. That's how it is, or is impeached or whatever, right? In India, it's not that way. In India, it's inherently unstable. The system is designed to be that way. So that's why it's not a great system. India would do better with a presidential system.
When do you think this will be corrected?
I really don't know. I would like to see it corrected immediately, but I don't think it's going to happen for the next decade or so. Yeah, unless there is a massive upheaval like India going to war with a major nation or something. In that case, you may have rapid changes happening. Yeah, but I don't see it happening because the system is such that for any change, it takes a long time. You have got so many problems in the country, it's very hard to change them. Very hard to reform the system. We need revolutionary reforms. We don't need a revolution. Revolutions are destructive. They can do more harm than good. We have seen that over and over again. The French Revolution, the US Revolution, the Russian Revolution, and so on and so forth. We want rapid reforms, but it's very hard to do that. Even the most powerful prime minister may find it hard to make too big a reform very rapidly.
Thank you for watching this clip. If you want to learn more about this topic, we've curated a playlist just for you, and here's a link to the whole episode.